are discussing one of Charles Dickens' famous and great novels, A Tale of Two Cities. From the title, you notice that the events of the story take place between two famous and important cities all over the world, London and Paris. This story tries to teach us some human values, how to be human, how to be a real man. In the following movie, I will try to give you a brief summary of the most important events and the most famous scenes during these great novels. It's my favorite novels. I hope you enjoy it, inshallah. A Tale of Two Cities is a great novel written by Charles Dickens. The events of the story took place between London and Paris before and during the French Revolution. As we know, the aristocrats enjoyed luxurious, comfortable life, but the common people suffered from poverty, misery, and oppression. The central character of the novel, Lucy, had to accompany Mr. Lorry to France to bring back her father, Dr. Manette, to health, love, peace, and his daughter's care. He was recalled to life. طبعا it was a big surprise for Lucy because she was afraid to see the ghost of her father whom she thought to be dead. She didn't see her father before.
The wine's outside. There was an accident. Did you hear me?
Yeah, here.
Monsieur Lorry?
Indeed.
The lodging you wish to see is on the second floor, if you will come with me.
Is he alone?
Alone? God help him, sir. Who should be with him?
Is the door locked?
Always?
Why?
Why? Because he's lived so long locked up alone in prison that he would rave and tear himself to pieces if this door were left open.
Doctor?
Good day, Dr. Manette. Still hard at work, I see.
Yes, I am working.
May I let in a little more light, Doctor? Doctor, you have visitors.
What is that?
There is someone here to see you. Tell this gentleman what kind of shoes you make.
Shoes?
Can you describe the shoes for this gentleman?
They are ladies' shoes.
And the maker's name?
Name? You ask my name.
Yes.
105 North Tower.
Sir, do you not remember me?
You're the jailer's daughter.
No.
Who are you? I don't.
What?
You see, it is the same. How can this be? It was so long ago when they came to take me away. We held each other, my little girl. She was in my arms. Then when I arrived at the prison, I found these on my sleeve, and I've kept them ever since. How is this? Was it you?
No, please.
It cannot be.
We've come to take you away with us. We've come to help you. Please trust us, my dear. Please trust me. Oh, my dear, please trust me. Thank God I've found you. I've found you again.
My tools.
What? What's that?
He wants his tools to make the shoes.
Oh.
Come on, Doctor. I shall be right back.
Shall we, Doctor?
What is that?
Some writings of his. A diary, perhaps. I'll put it in with his tools.
No. Give it to me. We shall keep it here.
Why?
To read, you fool.
Godspeed. To the barrier.
Mr. Devarge was in charge of Dr. Manette when he was set free after spending about 18 years unjustly in the Bastille prison. Dr. Manette lost his memory, forgot his name and job. He became broken mentally, physically, spiritually, and only remembered 105 North Tower. دوت كان the number of the cell, الزنزانة اللي هو كان محبوس فيها. He forgot that he was a famous doctor and he became working as a shoemaker. تشارلز دارني اللي هو هيبقى الهازباند بتاع لوسي بعد كده. Charles Darnay was accused of being a spy and there was a difficult trial in London. Sidney Carton, the assistant of Mr. Stryver, the famous lawyer, guided Stryver to save the life of Charles Darnay. طبعا دي is the first time that Sidney Carton saves the life of Charles Darnay. هيبقى في مرة تانية at the end of the novel.
I'm not looking forward to this. It's a sad business.
It is, sir.
All right.
All set now, sir.
Thank you.
Got the carriage outside.
All right, thank you.
Right, sir.
What's going on, Jerry? Where are you off to?
The Old Bailey. Trial for treason. Know what that means, don't you? They'll hang him up, slice him down, burn up his insides and chop off his head.
You mean if they find him guilty?
Oh, they will. They always find him guilty.
The prisoner is charged with being a traitor to our Lord the King by reason of his having assisted the French King Louis in his wars against England in North America. He has thus indirectly aided the American general, George Washington, in his hopeless struggle against our noble countrymen.
Your Lordship, I will prove to this court that this man, Charles Darnay, is a contemptible spy. The prisoner has been passing and repassing from France to England on secret business of which he can give no good account.
Stephanie, good God, man, there's a trial going on here. Get out of yourself.
Late night. Sorry.
I have witnesses in this courtroom today who saw the prisoner on a trip from France 9 months ago. It is my information that they saw the prisoner confer with fellow conspirators on a packet out of Le Havre. I propose to call one of these witnesses at this time. Dr. Manette. Dr. Manette, can you identify the prisoner as your fellow traveler returning from France?
Unfortunately, I was recovering from a long illness at the time. My mind was a blank, you see, for a long period. And I can only thank a gracious God now for restoring my faculties once again.
Once again, can you identify the prisoner?
No.
Were you traveling alone?
I was accompanied by Mr. Jarvis Lorry and my daughter.
Thank you. I now call Miss Lucy Manette.
What a beauty we have here.
You have looked upon the prisoner.
Yes,
Speak up, please.
I have.
Did you not see this man confer with 2 other men aboard the packet when you returned from France? Speak up, please. We cannot hear you.
Yes, I saw him.
And were there not papers passed between these men that night?
I saw papers. I could not hear what was said. Mr. Darnay told me.
The prisoner.
Prisoner. Yes. He was very kind to me and to my father. Very considerate. I do hope that nothing I say here today will repay him by doing him any harm.
You may not wish to testify against the prisoner, Miss Manette, but be that as it may, is this the man you saw? Speak up!
Yes.
Thank you very much. I will now call upon Mr. John Barsan.
I saw the prisoner with my own eyes. I watched him as he passed on secret information to 2 French gentlemen on 3 different occasions.
You are absolutely certain that it was the prisoner here, Charles Darnay, who passed on this vital and important government information about our military strength to these spies?
I am, sir.
Would you, sir, be so very kind as to amplify your public-spirited gesture even further by telling the court in more detail about the events which surrounded the passing of this vitally important government information that evening?
Yes, sir. I should be delighted. It was during the month of February that I had occasion to travel to France.
Oh, what do you have, my wicked fellow?
I'll have 2 crown, if you don't mind, please.
But of course, the money first, always.
He works for the French. Him. He's a paid
The
informer.
prisoner in the dock.
Real name, Guillermin.
As I mounted the gangplank...
Spies for the French everywhere. Nasty reputation. Just mention his real name, that's all. You do that, and he'll suddenly forget what he's here for.
Who paid him this time?
Who knows? Someone in France. Doesn't matter. You want him to shut up? Mention his real name.
Their air was decidedly conspiratorial. Then the papers were passed between them. The two Frenchmen disembarked, and the prisoner went to his cabin, where he stayed for the rest of the journey.
I thank you for your testimony, sir. And I wish to commend you now in this courtroom for the noble and patriotic duty of coming forward to identify this traitor.
Blood, the defense will question the witness.
You may proceed.
What do you live upon, sir?
Property?
What property?
I can't precisely remember where.
This information that you say you saw passed on, did you actually read it?
Yes, sir. But I didn't study on it. Marked secret, you know.
How much did you receive to give this evidence today?
Nothing.
Nothing at all to lay a trap for this prisoner?
No.
You swear to that?
I do.
My lad, I have no further questions of this witness. Oh, just one moment, my lad, if I may. If I may, sir. I do have just one more question. Tell this court that you're absolutely certain in your identification of this prisoner.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen anyone who looked like the prisoner?
Not so much as I'd be mistaken.
I ask you then to look upon my learned colleague here, Mr. Sidney Cotton. Standing still. Would you lay aside your wig, sir? Are they not very much like each other? Look closely, sir.
Well, yes, there's a certain similarity. But I'm not mistaken. The man I saw on the wharf was the prisoner, Charles Darnay.
I should like to probe your memory a little further, Mr. Guillemin. Yes? Would you like a closer look, perhaps, Mr. Guillemin?
The name of the witness is Bart, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. Forgive me. Speak up, sir. Do you remain certain in your identification?
No.
Louder, please, sir. I don't believe the court heard your answer.
No.
No! You can no longer identify the prisoner as the man you saw. Correct? It could have been someone else. Correct?
Correct.
Thank you, sir. I have no further questions of this patriotic witness.
I don't understand what happened to him. What happens to all men when their past catches up to their present?
My lord, the jury desires, with your lordship's permission, to retire and deliberate the verdict.
You may proceed.
If I may inquire, Mr. Lorry, the young lady seemed quite distressed. How's she faring now?
She's recovering, thank you.
I'll tell the prisoner. He seemed to be quite concerned for her. Oh, Perhaps you might tell him yourself?
Well,
But of course. A respectable bank gentleman such as you, it wouldn't do to be speaking to the prisoner in public, would it?
Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, my lord. We find the prisoner, Charles Darnay, innocent of all charges.
Well, Mr. Darnay, I'm happy to have brought you off with honor.
Indeed, sir. You have saved my life.
Thank you, sir. I did my best.
My congratulations, sir, upon your vindication.
And you have my regret, good doctor, that I brought you and your lovely daughter into this. Thank you, doctor.
Well, come along, my dear. Good fortune to you, sir.
So, Mr. Lorry, it seems that men of business may now speak to Mr. Darnay.
Men of business are not their own masters, sir. We must think of the house we serve more than ourselves.
Don't be nettled, Mr. Lorry.
I am certainly not nettled. And I am not certain what you have to do with this matter at all. As far as I can see, it's none of your business.
Quite right. I have no business.
It's a pity you haven't, sir, because if you had, you might leave us and attend to it.
Lord love you, sir, no.
Then perhaps you might realize that business is a good and respectable thing. Mr. Darnay, I hope you've been preserved for a prosperous life. Good day to you, sir. Good day.
Well, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I have work to do.
It's a strange chance, wouldn't you say? I beg your pardon. That you and I, two lookalikes, should be thrown together on such an occasion. Frankly, I don't see all that much resemblance, but I hardly feel part of this world again as yet. Yes, it's just a few months.
Sidney Carton promised to give his life to Lucy or anyone dear to her, and Lucy promised to keep his love confession a secret in her heart forever. زي ما احنا عارفين Charles Darnay wanted to marry Lucy, but she would be married to Charles Darnay instead of Sidney Carton. Lucy and Darnay got married. She begged him to be kind to Carton because his heart was broken. Throughout the novel, the writer tries to prove that vengeance or revenge is a double-edged weapon, a double-edged tool, سلاح ذو حدين. For example, Gaspard took revenge on the Marquis who killed his son, but he paid the price and was killed.
Happening here? Who is making that abominable noise?
Sorry, monsieur, we have struck a child, I believe.
The child, Monsieur the Marquis, is dead. The coach struck him. This man is the father.
Really, it is extraordinary to me that you people cannot take care of yourselves. Or your children. Always in the way. How do I know what injury you may have done to my horses? Here, Give him that.
Be brave, Gaspard. It is better for the poor little one to die so than to live in times such as these. He died quickly, without pain. Could he have lived an hour as happily?
Oh, you are a philosopher, monsieur. How do they call you?
Defarge,
Of what trade?
a vendor of wine. That is my shop.
Well, philosopher and vendor of wine. Pick up that and spend it as you will. Move on.
Walk on.
Good evening, Monseigneur. You think I'm drunk, don't you? No, Monseigneur. Ah, let go, boy. People, it's... Take your hands off.
Forget that Gaspard wrote the word blood on the wall of the wine shop of Monsieur Defarge when people licked the red wine. Red wine stands for and symbolizes the preparation for the French Revolution. Charles Dickens believes that love is stronger than hatred and envy. For example, Dr. Manette let Lucy marry the son of his enemy, Charles Darnley. He was a noble character. Sidney Carton also sacrifices his life to save the life of Charles Darnley for the sake of Lucy during the French Revolution, as he promised her. One of the most important themes of the novel is love and hatred. زي ما احنا عارفين, Charles Dickens believes that love is stronger than hatred. It is Lucy's love and that helped Dr. Manette to recover from his mental relapse. Also, the great love of Sidney Carton to Lucy drove him to take the place of Charles Darnley at the guillotine and be executed instead of him for the sake of Lucy. Also, the hatred of Madame de Varge let her pay the price, and she shot herself instead of shooting Lucy and little Lucy. Other themes of the play is the theme of revenge and mercy. People who wanted to take revenge paid the price, such as Gaspard and Madame de Varge. The story is full of promises, mutual promises. Charles Darnley promised Dr. Manette never to separate Lucy from him if he married her. Dr. Manette promised Charles Darnley he would never refuse their marriage if she accepted it. Also, Sidney Carton promised Lucy to give his life to her or anyone dear to her if his life was needed for Lucy. Lucy also promised Sidney Carton to keep his love confession in her heart forever. Sidney Carton was called the Jackal because he exerted great effort, and Mr. Stryver the Lion won fame, money, and everything. Sidney Carton was the eye, the mind, the hands that helped Mr. Stryver to be successful and famous. Also, Sidney Carton loved Lucy, but she married Charles Darnley instead of him, so he was broken. His heart was broken. And at the end of the novel, he also paid his life, sacrificed his life to fulfill his promise for the sake of Lucy to save Charles Darnley during the French Revolution.
I know. Of all the people on this earth, I'm the last one you expected to see.
Pray to God, sir, that you are not a prisoner.
No, I come here only on a request from your wife. But there's no time now to tell you why I bring it or what it means. Take off your coat.
My coat?
No questions.
Can't you tell me at least what?
No.
If you have escape in mind, I can tell you that it's hopeless. You will only die with me.
I do not ask you to escape. I make no such request. Here, change this waistcoat of yours for mine.
Believe me, it's not going to work.
The ribbon.
It can't be done.
Take my coat. Hurry!
Don't you know? Every attempt to escape from this prison has failed. I implore you, do not add your death to the bitterness of mine.
Do I ask you to walk out that door? If I should ask that, then refuse. Now, sit down. I have something for you to write. Sit. Is your hand steady enough?
I was just writing a last note to Lucy.
Good. Now you will write what I dictate. Exactly as I speak.
To whom?
To no one. Right.
Well, that's what he
I
said.
may need you and Lebec shortly.
Why?
The visitor looks quite ill.
That I do so is no subject for regret or grief.
Bastard!
Well, look at me. Now, do you think your hazard's so great?
Not if you keep your part of the bargain.
Take me to the coach.
You?
I, him. We are the same. I have merely exchanged my life. You must leave by the same gate we entered.
Right. He's unconscious.
Of course.
You told me he might be weak, but...
Didn't you notice? I was weak and faint when I arrived here, and I am fainter now that you bring me out. In fact, I am overcome. Now hurry, man!
Guards! You swear not to betray me.
I have come this far. I will not stop now.
He is the fool. He should know better than to visit a prisoner if he can't bear up upon seeing him.
keep your eyes upon me and nothing else.
If you remember the words that passed between us long ago, you will readily comprehend this when you see it. I am thankful that the time has come when I can prove those words. That I do so is no subject for regret or grief.
It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known.
Finally, I hope you enjoyed this novel, this movie. I hope I could explain the most important details, the most important events in the novel. I hope you understand and enjoy it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's